I think it's great for the administration to do this. Good or bad, job numbers, GDP numbers, the tariffs, they go out and they do interviews. They talk about it. The Treasury Secretary on Meet the Press yesterday, and he made it clear that 20,000 jobs, not good, but there is other things that are good about it. And they feel as though that a lot of this stuff is going to be revised upward. A guy that knows the reality of dollars and cents is Senator Rick Scott, former governor, now senator from New Jersey. He's on Armed Services, Homeland Committees, Government Affairs, Foreign Relations, Aging, Budget, you name it. Senator, when you saw the 20,000 instead of the 75,000 projected, what are your thoughts? What were your thoughts on Friday?
Well, first off, I think you have to be, I've never felt comfortable with the BLS numbers, number one. So I think you ought to look at trends. If you look at the last 4 years, we've stopped adding full-time jobs. We're only adding part-time jobs. So Trump walked into a really crappy economy. So I think it's going to take a while. I think it's going to take a while to get in and think about, here's what the biggest thing we can do. It's a regulatory environment, it's permitting, and that's going to take a while. When I was governor, we went from losing 832,000 jobs, or 62,000 jobs, when I was 4 years before I got elected, to adding 1.7 million. The big change was not the fact that I cut taxes 100 times. It's the fact that I got rid of 20% of the regulations. I streamlined the permitting requirements, and I recruited companies to move to Florida. I came to New York, I don't know how many times, just coming up here talking to companies about get the heck out of New York, come to Florida, it's a better place to do business.
So John Deere said their net income in the most recent quarter was down 29%. Higher tariffs says cost their company $300 million so far. Also complaining is Nike says tariffs will cost their company $1 billion. Black & Decker says $800 million. The big three automakers say they're going to lose $2 billion in tariffs. How do you feel about what do these numbers mean to you?
Well, first off, we finally have a president that is focused on getting American jobs. So what we've got to do is we've got to bring these jobs back to this country. It's gonna cost these companies, they're going to have to reinvest in this country. They're going to have to find out ways to use automation to compete. But look, we have lost our manufacturing base. We have got to rebuild our manufacturing base in this country. We've got to do it, one, for good middle income jobs, but two, what if we go to war? If we go to war with China, what are we going to do if we're not building things in this country? And right now, that's exactly where China wants to go. So we've got to do it. I'm glad the president is focused on how do we get American jobs. But the biggest thing I think is going to happen is we've got to make it easier to build a company, easier to start a company, easier to compete with all these crazy state, local, and federal regulations.
Yeah, I guess so. I think you're right. You also are looking at a situation where a court case the Supreme Court is now looking at could either cause chaos or keep us on course. And that is, legal experts say it's 50-50 because they ruled that the president might not have the authority, a lower court did, to issue these tariffs without Congress, to do this because they don't believe it's an emergency or how the case was presented. So now it's up to the Supreme Court to get to this case. Number one, do you know when they're going to get the case? And on April, doesn't this decision go into play in October?
Well, hopefully the Supreme Court will take it up quickly, hopefully this month. I don't think they've announced when they're going to take it up. Everybody I've talked to at the White House, they feel very comfortable they're going to win. All right. And if you just look at Trump, all these court cases he's had, he wins. They all start out saying, "Oh, he can't win. And he seems to win. He's got a hat they gave me. Trump has always been right, or whatever it is. Right? He does win. And so I'm optimistic that his policies are going to get this economy back on track. If you think about what do people want? He got elected because they want a secure border. He got it. They wanted inflation to come down. Right? It's come down. All right, and they want jobs back. They want jobs in this country.
So, Senator, you have a problem. I think it's over 100, between 100 and 200 nominees, undersecretaries, deputy secretaries, UN ambassador. 141. They're stuck. So you got almost no one through except Jeanine Pirro last cycle. And the word is there's rule changes that are going to be implemented as early as today to unstick them. In layman's terms, what maneuverability do you have? So
for the first time ever, the Democrats have just completely blocked the ability to get Trump nominees through. Mm-hmm. Right? We didn't do it with Biden. And they did not as bad in the Trump term. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to change the rules to limit debate. All right. So hopefully these 141 Most of them will get done this week by next Monday. We're going to have to change the rules. It's all caused by the Democrats saying, we're not going to allow Trump to have a team. This is unfair. They're not saying, oh, we don't like them. They're just saying, they didn't even think about it. They've let nobody go through without spending all the debate time. Right? That's never happened before. We did things through unanimous consent always with prior presidents. So
and
they're
you put
just
things
trying
in piles and you do it all at once, right?
So what we're going to try to do is do 3 tranches. So we'll do it. The goal is to get it done this week, but it'll probably take until next Monday night. So we'll start tonight. Our first vote will be at 5:30. So we'll start today through the process because it will require a change in the rules.
Mike Walter's got to get in. It's 80 years of the UN. You're going to go. September conference is going to happen. And we don't have a UN ambassador.
Oh, and Brian, on top of that, we're doing something that the Democrats have proposed in the past. Okay, and
which is okay
to put these in bigger groups
because you guys slow it down too, right?
So first off, what people have is you say, hey, look, I want to know something from you. I want you to answer some questions. Okay, but they don't say, oh, after you answer them, oh no, I'm not going to ever let you go through. So it's never happened like this. There's not been one nominee that all year, including Marco Rubio, who got almost everybody's vote, that went through a unanimous consent.
And the whole thing is because they want to fight Trump. They feel as though their base wants them to fight Trump. Now, when Senator Chuck Schumer said, I'm not going to do a government shutdown, I'm going to sign off on this, they almost ousted him. Makes everybody think that Schumer is going to just allow, and Hakeem Jeffries are going to allow the government to close in the next 2 weeks.
Well, it's up to Schumer. It's up to Schumer because it takes 60 votes. It takes 60 votes in the Senate. The decision will be made, by September 30. If we don't, then government gets shut down. There's only one person making the decision because Schumer controls all the votes on the Democrat side of the Senate. Nobody else has an independent vote. He controls all those votes. He will decide whether we have a government shutdown or not. Right? I mean, here's what he's always wanted. He wants to be able to be able to make the decision where senators that are not in leadership, top 4 people and the 2 people in the House and Senate, they'll make all decisions about what we do. Here's what they'll want to do. If we do one, they'll want to do a continuing resolution and then say, oh, we've worked really hard, which they haven't. I'm on the budget committee. We don't even do budgets. All right. So we work really hard, and we'll punt till December. Then they have $1 trillion plus some stupid spending bill that nobody knows what it is, and you have to vote on it 2 hours after
when they were in the
it.
majority.
No, yeah,
but they're not going to do that now.
Oh, they've done it every year for 6 years. Even when we were the lead, okay, McConnell did it. I mean, he did the exact same thing because he and Schumer and then whoever the speaker was and the minority leader in the House, they would decide what's in it and then give us 2 hours to look at it.
Now, the president said, I remember this happened twice. He goes, I'm never signing something like this again, right? And I think he's going to hold to that.
I hope he does.
You know your leverage, and no one knows it better than you, Senator Scott, is for the president to say, yeah, you shut it down. I have a whole bunch of things I'm looking to do without Congress.
Right.
And he could start lining them up and talking about the rescission packages he's going to put together and just do and things to that nature. So do they want to let Trump run wild?
Right now, it sure looks like Schumer wants to shut down government. It's great. It's not that hard to do our job, right? Maybe have a process to approve nominees. Let it work. It's worked in the past with prior presidents. Let that work. Have real appropriations bills. Let's vote them on the floor. Let's allow amendments. But Schumer's against all these things.
So we're watching a mayor's race in New York City become a national story because you have a blatant, proud socialist Marxist running who does not, I don't really like capitalism. I don't think there should be billionaires. I'm not really we have way too many police. I think social workers have to be on every single, misdemeanors should not be a crime. Right? Not really into the prisons. He also is against charter schools. It's amazing how many things he's got, but he's got younger people supporting him. He's got 9% of the black vote, but I see Republicans are already putting him in ads, no matter where they're located across the country. What did Democrats say? They're paralyzed right now.
Well, I mean, first off, I'm in New York City. The city of capitalism is now going to elect a socialist. Right? When I was governor, I came up here all the time to recruit because Cuomo was the governor at the time, and I
de Blasio was your best.
Yeah, de Blasio. They were great. So because they all they did was make it hard for business. That's all they've done in New York City. So think about this: you're You don't want police? I want police. I mean, if something happens around my house, I want to be able to call somebody, have them show up. I like our schools have to compete. I like charter schools. We probably have the biggest charter school movement in the country. It started with Jeb Bush. He did a great job in Florida. So now we have one of the top 5 K-12 schools. We're number 1 higher education in the country. Prisons. Why do you want people in prison? You saw that young Ukrainian girl get murdered. Why wasn't in North Carolina? Wasn't that guy in prison? I mean, that guy should have been in prison for
long
life.
record. Yeah.
I mean, look at all these Democrats. Let all these people out. There's, you don't have to put up any cash for bail now. I mean, and then they want to run grocery stores. As a high school and college, I worked in grocery stores. The government's going to run a grocery store. I originally grew up in Kansas City. They had a government-run grocery store. It just closed. Mm-hmm. It was dangerous. First off, it was dangerous, and they had no food. So if Mamdani thinks socialism is so good, why doesn't he go to Cuba or Venezuela? Right. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. People come to my state because they want to get away from socialism.
I think it's so interesting because now you have the governor say, "Why you keep asking me about Mamdani? It doesn't matter. I'm from Buffalo. I don't vote." And then you have Hakeem Jeffries get all angry on CNBC that people brought it up. Why is that a big deal? I think Bernie Sanders said it best. Cut 27.
You have the President of the United States working to make it harder for him to get elected. So what are these people, these oligarchs, afraid of? What they are afraid of, brothers and sisters, is not only the question of bringing justice to New York City. You know what they're afraid of? They're afraid of Mr. Mamdani becoming an example to what can happen all over this country.
Yes, he's 100% right. That's what Democrats are more worried than Republicans are.
Well, I'm here because I care about New Yorkers. I mean, I do everything I can to recruit New Yorkers to Florida, but gosh, I don't want people. I grew up in public housing. How many people want to live in public housing? You say, "Oh man, I want to grow up to live in public housing. I want to grow up to be on food stamps. I want to grow up to go to that government-run grocery store." Nobody. That's not good. That's not good for New York. It's not good for this country. So if New York does it, it'll be a great example of another place where socialism fails. It's never succeeded anywhere. But I'm here because I think it's really bad for our country.
But yeah, I just think that along that way, people say, well, they'll be stopped by the governor. It's going to slow everything down. They'll be able to do a lot of things and nothing moves forward at the very least.